This is All Mods with a tutorial on how to add a sub menu to your main menu. Um, some things I'm gonna mention I'm not gonna cover in this. I will in later updates. The reason why I'm not gonna mention them is because I'm not gonna have all the things that you can add in var wise and function wise to not get an error. So I will mention them. You can look some of it up and figure out how to do it. Um, but just for now, um, I'm just gonna cover what I have. So what I did is I turned the credits menu into an actual usable menu because if I clicked it on my map, all it did was take everything off my screen that you see except for the video in the background. And the only way to get out of it was to close my whole map down. So um, now I end up having this, um, which for my map is two button binds, which all this will be in the description. You'll have the same thing, same exact words. You'll just have to edit it all yourself. I'm not going to make changes to the text and stuff just for the tutorial. Um, so there's two button binds here, and as you see, the little custom text that pops up when you highlight each button. Here I have text and a picture, which everything on this can be adjusted, even the picture in the background. The only thing you cannot do directly out of this file itself is move where these buttons are showing, which I wouldn't mess with because you may end up moving these and these around and other things messing with those, which I do believe they are located in a whole nother menu file for this, for where they're actually located. I might be wrong. I just never wanted to move them. But you can also add other sub menus in this menu. I'm not going to cover that in here. This tutorial, I'm just going to tell you how to add this and maybe do a little stuff with these because right now they're set to just close the menu out. But this is really easy to add. So I'm going to go back up. Let's make sure we're all the way back here. This is a stock main.menu. It has not had anything added in it, and even if you have one that's not stock, the part that we're going to be editing most likely has never been touched by you or someone that may have helped you. You're going to search credits underscore menu. The very first thing that's going to pop up. There's no other mention of this before this. Don't worry about this. As you see, that's accented out. It does say the console part, so don't worry about that. That's accented out by default, and it should be on yours as well. You're going to highlight all this and delete it. We are using the same thing, but I added more stuff in and some stuff above it. The menu's actually going to be in here where it says on open. So you're going to delete all this out. And you see the notes here. If they apply to you, take your own actions. If they don't worry about it. So you're going to delete all that out. And in the description, there's going to be 200 lines of script, which is going to be the actual menu. And as you see, this is the same thing you just deleted, but I have two defines above it. I added a style, a background, and a visible, which is set to 1, which will only show when this menu's open. And then a whole bunch of all that stuff you've seen is here. So you're literally going to copy this out of the description and paste it right where you just deleted. Now, these are the menu names here, which these are the binds. You see the choice binds. That's for binding buttons, of course. And as you see, I put the exit on the top here. Do not move that down because you think it needs to be in order. If you do, you're going to make the pictures not show up correctly on the stuff when you highlight it. I have it like that for a reason. When you're doing menu files, the order the stuff is the order that it's going to draw it at. So if I was to put that background picture way down here after all this stuff, that picture would have been over this stuff and this would have been behind it. You never would have been able to see it. So you don't want to do that. Leave everything exactly like I have it. I will not help you if you mess with other things other than I'm mentioning and you're complaining about it not working. I've had people do that several times. So the only things you're going to be changing is the text and the pictures. Do not change the names that are here or anything. The only thing you need to change is the text names. So here, you see where this is. Of course, that's the color. This part is the color. So if you want to add color, that's what you need to do. So you will edit this between these braces, which is what's going on. For the choice bind, you can add custom game types, hard mode, easy mode for your mod. You can literally look in other examples in the main menu. Let me just go to this one. As you see, these are the same kind of things, but you see other agreements in it. Now, there is some multiplayer stuff that you can use to make it so you can make a sub menu and make the other stuff go away when this ain't showing up. So as you see, this has more agreements than mine does. I just have mine close the menu, but you see how many things are in this one in particular. They can all be set up the same. But what you do is, like I said, everything that's here is what's important. You'll put the agreements, pretty much not as much stuff as they had, but you'll put what happens and when it shows. So you can set one thing to 1, one thing to 0, or however you want to do it, and only have it show this stuff when it equals that value. Everything here. So on this visible win, you would also need to go add an end-to-end and whatever the new variable is you set for this stuff to show. So you would need to go change that on every one of these visibles. Every single one of them. This very top one here, don't even worry about it. I had to set up a dummy image file or the images would not show right when you highlighted the items. So this one, it doesn't matter what you do to it. You don't even have to touch it, which is a pic, which is an image. So you would need to add that variable to all these if you wanted to add the submenu for them to go away when you click the submenu. So right where this is where you would put what the var or whatever you're doing to open the new, to make all the new menu stuff show up. You can copy and paste all this stuff that's here if you wanted, or at least these, use the same exact lines as these, but you make these show when that variable is higher than the one from the first one. And you can keep going and add as many submenus as you want. So after you change all the text, like here, that's for the button binds, these two. I put them at the bottom. But as you see, it says mouse over option 5, 5th option is what that's for. You can go change everywhere it says text that's inside the quotes. Don't make sure you're inside the quotes. And on the images, everywhere it says background, you're going to go put a background, and you can look at what number what's for. So like you see, this is number 9. If you go down here to the bottom, that's option number 9. That's what picture is going to show up for that option. So after you do all that, you change the background on the pictures. You change the text on the text. You change the name of the buttons that show up, which on the binds, there's the buttons. It's all between the quotes. After you do all that, you only have one more thing to add, and there's one more image you're going to change, where this background is. This is the full screen menu, which as you've seen earlier, this is pretty much the same thing that was there, but I added this stuff to it, all the stuff inside the open, and I added this after. to make the background picture full screen. So after you get all that situated, and usually when you paste this in, you got to move this over. This right here is for the little gray bar that's right there. See that little thin line? That's what that's for. Which that one might need to get moved up some. As you see, that's line 5 and line 10. Line 5 is one above where our first thing is set, which you see it's still not high enough, so that 5 may need to go to 4. But the one that's on number 10, which that's what this is, that the thing to set the little gray line, I don't think it matters where these are. I just did that for my own personal use. I did have them side by side, the 1 and the 2, because that's not what's actually telling it where to go. I think that's more of like a bookmarker for you to know where it's at if you want to be that specific with it, which I did. So as you see, this is what controls where those little black lines are, not what's at the bottom. So as you see, the numbers are here. So after you do that, you only have to do one more thing, and your menu will work. Which I'm in the wrong. There's going to be a line in the description, and all you're going to do is paste it inside the credits menu. You really don't even have to paste it. You could just rename the credits menu, and make sure it has a thing to open the credits menu on it when you click it, because all it's going to do now is open the menu that you just pasted in. So let's look for it here, because that one I already made changes to. I'm thinking if you have a custom solo launch button, you're going to want to make sure you get the right area. Which the credits, right here, menu credits. You can take both of these out. And on mine, it actually doesn't say end if PC. Make sure you get the right section. Because if you get the wrong one, this will not take effect. So you see this says PC. I actually took both of these completely out. And let's find mine here. As you see, this is all I put, because I didn't need all that other stuff being set or so on and so forth. So you'll copy and paste this line, which is going to open that credits menu that you just pasted, and here you'll just change the name. All this will be in the description. That's all you have to do. I will do a tutorial later on how to add more stuff in here. Like I'll cover how to add the game types. If you wanted to set it like a hard mode, easy mode, or whatever for your zombies, I'll be covering that as well, and a bunch of other things. But like I said, if you're a little familiar with scripting, you can pretty much just look at the menu file and figure out how to add the stuff in, or just wait on me to cover it in the tutorial. But that's pretty much it. I may do one on how to add music if you don't already have some, and a big video to your background. We'll also be going in the same section as this tutorial is. But that's pretty much it. If you need help, just leave your comments and I'll see what I can do.